Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, Christy.
Hi Judy, good to see you.
Good to see you.
It's pretty sunny. Let me pull the shade down a little bit. We have a puppy accident that happened behind me, which is what is happening here.
Oh.
Logan is cleaning it up.
Oh.
It's that puppy life. That's the boys learning all the lessons about taking care of things.
That's good.
Yep. Hi, Marlena. Hi, Brittany and Christy, Nicole, Diana. There's Sarah and Nikki and Sam, Leah, Christy. Awesome. Hi, guys. Good to see you.
Is it a way for us to see everybody else? Is there a way?
Are you on your computer or are you on your phone?
Phone.
If you swipe, you should be able to see more people. You won't be able to see everybody on your phone, but you should be able to see a grid of like 4 or 5 people at a time. On my computer, I get a grid of, I think, up to like 25 or so, and then it makes me get more room. Logan's telling me I can have 40, which I don't know how to do that, but he's the expert at school stuff online now. So, Kristen, you look so pretty with that flower in your hair.
Thank you.
Judy, if you want to see all the people, like, keep swiping. It'll show you like a grid of 4 people each window.
Oh, goody.
See the dots at the bottom? That's how many pages there are.
Is that the rain coming down?
Hi, Christy.
Hi, guys.
On what?
The grill.
Hey.
Oh, well, it's too late now. Don't worry about it.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, I know we're going to have a couple more people pop in, so I'm going to mute everybody out and get started, and then we'll unmute in a few minutes and have a chat. So I am just going to put out a quick reminder that this Wednesday, I'm doing another one of my like free live trainings that I do. And this is a great event to invite a friend to. I'm specifically going to focus on like myth busting some of the nonsense that we see out there, like on social media and just in sort of the fad diet space around weight loss. So I'm going to punch some holes in things and kind of explain what people are getting wrong and then give people some strategies to make it more doable for them. So I would love to see you guys there. But also if you have a friend who you think would benefit, then invite them, because that's what the event is for, is to kind of spread some of this information out into the public and introduce people to Fitme and what we're about. So that's on Wednesday. Make sure you register. I'm giving away 2 Fitbits, and all you have to do is register and show up. So 2 people are going to win a Fitbit. So even if you already have an activity tracker, you can give it away as a gift, or you could give it to your accountability buddy. But it's getting ready to be the season for getting steps in and movement and all that stuff outside. So now's a fun time to get a Fitbit. And all you have to do is show up to the training and you get entered to win. So that was my little reminder. Today we've been so the past couple of weeks, we've actually circled back to some of our most like foundational things. Like last week we talked about movement, like which piece of the movement, I don't know, universe do you need to improve in your life? Is it the workout piece? Is it the like steps and moving around piece? Which one do you need to step up your game? Or if you're just starting out and you're not doing either very well, which one are you going to start with? So that was your task last week. This week, we're going to dive into another piece of just one of our basic things that we do in Fitme, which is we build Fitme plates. But I want to empower you guys with some information about what we're doing and why. And then that's going to be your focus this week. So our focus this week is on protein. Everybody's least favorite macronutrient. Okay. So macronutrients, if you're not sure, are protein, fat, and carbs. And if I was like, hey, pick your favorite, right? Almost nobody picks protein. Everybody loves, the fat and carbs are like the delicious ones. But when you are working on either a weight loss goal, a health goal, or a strength goal, protein needs to be the star of your food in a lot of ways. We don't adequately get enough protein if we just like default to what's available. So I wanted on this call give you some information about protein that you're gonna learn some things about protein. And then this week, your focus is going to be on awareness around it. And you're going to talk to your coach about it. Do you eat enough protein? Like, are you including it in every meal? Are you eating an adequate portion size? Are you sure what protein sources you like? So it's not a specific, like last week, it was very specific. Tell your coach which one you need to pick to improve on movement or the workout piece and have a conversation. This one is talk to your coach about your protein consumption and if you're getting enough. So let's start with some facts about how our body works. So when we eat less food, ultimately at the end of the day, there's a lot of ways that bodies lose weight, but always they have less calories than they burn. And I'm the first person to say that that is an oversimplistic, like not helpful explanation for weight loss. If you've ever heard that before and people are like, move more, eat less, and you're like, thanks, appreciate that. Super helpful. Or like, guess you're just not, you're not eating few enough. And if you were, it would be working better. I think it's super simplistic, but it is important to know that that's how weight loss does work, right? So we're going to just say that that's true. Okay. Having less consumed than our body is burning. Okay. So we want that if you're trying to lose weight. But here's the thing. Our body burns both things, fat and muscle. If we burn up our muscle, we actually have less calorie burning machine. So I did a whole training on this like 2 or 3 months ago, where I like did a picture and explained how you get skinny fat when you burn up all your muscle. So what you do to preserve your muscle is you eat adequate protein and you strength train. And that way, as your body is burning fat, it's doing its best job to hang on to your muscle mass, which is what we want. Women sometimes are like, well, I don't want to get bulky. I don't want to do too much strength training, like muscle. Listen, unless you're supplementing with testosterone, we want every little scrap of muscle we can get as females because it protects our body. It helps us burn calories. It keeps us strong, all of those good things. And so you don't ever have to fear like, oh my God, I'm going to get too muscular if I focus on this. No, eating enough protein and doing strength training, like we talked about last week, preserves your muscle mass. That burns calories and that helps you burn stored body fat. So when we talk about the things that we've been talking about, which are like some of the basics of our Fitme method, moving more, avoiding processed junk, drinking our water, avoiding like drinking our calories, saving treats. But if you really want to speed up that weight loss process, then incorporating protein throughout your day is one of the most important things you can do. And everybody's like, yeah, I know. But protein's the one that's not in your pantry probably. So if you don't think about it in advance and you're not even sure if you like it or what a protein source is, it's not going to automatically happen. And that's why we're focused on it this week. So there's some confusion around protein too. So a lot of times, like in the just like popular, diet culture, just maybe even what you've heard because of labels, some things that are labeled as like a good source of protein really aren't. So for example, like you might see, I remember being in the airport one time and I saw this like thing and it was called like a protein coffee and it was from Starbucks. And I was like, oh, cool. Like maybe I want that, And I went ahead and I just opened up Starbucks. I Googled Starbucks's nutrition facts. I wanted to see what was in it. I was just curious. It was like 7 grams of protein, like 70 grams of sugar, and like 400 calories. This was not a good source of protein, but it was labeled as a protein source. And so sometimes there's confusion around that. There's also things that are like real food choices that are totally legitimate to include in your day that are actually fat, but we think, oh, there's protein in here. So an example would be like peanut butter. Peanut butter is a food choice that includes protein, fat, and carbs, depending on your peanut butter, but it's not a protein source. In order for you to get adequate protein from peanut butter, you'd have to eat like a half a cup of peanut butter. Well, half a cup of peanut butter is like 800 calories. So you can see how that wouldn't really be a good source of protein, but it's a much better source of fat. Same thing with cheese. Most cheeses are going to be like in the fat category rather than the protein category. So then how do we get enough protein? Well, for those who, which most people are going to use like quality meat sources, right? Chicken, like lean pork, focusing on fish, you know, seafood, shellfish is a great source of protein. The more eggs, those are like some of the more obvious ones. You guys know this, but again, everything I just listed, if we don't have it figured out in advance, isn't just going to like magically appear in your day or on your plate. How much protein is the right amount of protein for you? Well, it kind of depends. But our like ballpark is the size of your palm. So if you're going to like pick a piece of steak out, well, the size of your palm is like a ballpark serving size. Same thing with a piece of chicken or fish. So sometimes I'll go and I'll buy a salmon fillet and it's like triple what like would be an actual serving size. So that's just a ballpark of, you know, what would be a right serving size for you, but you always have the ability to look it up and see. The more you learn about food, especially in the context of making like empowered decisions as opposed to feeling restricted, but you just say like, I have no idea, like how, you know, what's in this. Looking it up gives you information and allows you to make decisions about your food. It's helpful rather than restrictive. And so I want to talk about protein. I want to brainstorm it with you guys on this call. If you have really good either prep methods around your protein, if you have favorites, if you have something that you used to be sick of, but now you found a new way to cook it and it's way better, I want you guys to share it because I think that's where we get hung up. Everyone thinks, oh, I got to eat plain chicken breast to get more protein. No, that is a terrible way to do it because plain chicken breast tastes like boring, bland rubber. And you're never going to stick with that. So you have to have variety. You have to have seasonings and flavors, and different kinds of proteins are important because your body needs different kinds of proteins. So let's brainstorm this one. I want to hear people who have successful strategies around this, what you do. And then if you're struggling with this, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. If you're like, I know this is me, there's no way I get enough protein.
So I used to be super sick of my egg bake that I was making because I only used egg whites and I wouldn't add sausage or bacon or anything. And I make like a big egg bake for my husband and I and two of my boys for the week. One of them has an egg allergy, but I would just put veggies in it and egg whites, and I wouldn't add cheese or I wouldn't add sausage or anything. And then when I started with Fitme and with Caitlin, she's like, dude, add some cheese, add some sausage, make it actually taste good. And so now I don't make it the same every week. I don't even like always use sausage or always use bacon or always use the same cheese or always use the same veggies. And I mix it up, but I seriously just dump like 3 or 4 bags of frozen veggies, mix up some eggs, mix up some egg whites, add tons of garlic, tons of onion, whatever meat I want to put in there, ham, sausage, bacon, and then bake it. And it's different every week, so we don't get sick of it. And that has really helped us.
I love that. I mean, you the basic same recipe, but you add different, you know, kinds of veggies in there, a little bit of different flavor in there, and then you are not sick of it anymore. And it becomes like a really good source of breakfast protein, which is super important. Like if you've ever stayed in a hotel and you go down to like the spread of continental breakfast, there's like 0 proteins like in breakfast in the standard American diet. All you see is muffins, pastries, like all of that nonsense. And so eating the way you're talking about, Amy, having that as a really good breakfast choice that you all like is fantastic. Just like a simple rule of thumb. I don't remember who asked me this, but they were like, can I have cheese? I'm like, of course you can have cheese, but I would treat it like a condiment most of the time, unless it's a treat. I would treat it like a condiment, sprinkle some on top, as opposed to having it be like the star, unless it's a treat. And then by all means, like lasagna it up. But if we're talking about building a Fitme plate, can you put some cheese on it? Yeah, just sprinkle some on there. It'll make it taste better.
By the way, I sprinkle mine on the bottom and it makes this like crust. So just in case you want to try that.
Good suggestion.
I do something really similar to Amy, but I also use it to clean out my fridge. So like leftover veggies from the dinner the night before, or taco meat or shredded chicken, and then it make sure I don't waste food too.
Yep. I love it. Did you guys know that protein is the most thermogenic macronutrient? That means your body burns calories just by digesting protein, more so than the other ones. Just interesting random fact. Crystal said smoked salmon is her favorite and a good standby protein. If you gave me the choice, I would eat smoked salmon every single day.
Same.
Love. Especially like the thick kind.
Yes.
I don't like the skinny kind, the thin kind. Love it. Who else has a good protein go-to that they use, that they like, that tastes good?
I have said this a million times. I love ground chicken. And so I always have a bag of ground chicken in my fridge because I cook a protein every night. And so I know that I'm going to have an extra, but so many times like that Ziploc bag of ground chicken has like saved my ass. And it's so good. It's so good. And it's easy. You can like put whatever kind of sauce you can do, potatoes, rice, it's like you make it whatever flavor you want. So I don't know. That's kind of that's my staple clutch protein to always have.
And do you just like pan fry it? Is that how you cook it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
With I just use like salt, pepper, and like garlic, salt, just to give it a base flavor. And then you can do literally whatever you want with it after that.
Yeah, I can think of a couple things that would be really good to do with it that are basically like making a Fitme plate, just doing it with different flavor combinations, like a burger bowl, for example. Like you could put some potatoes at the bottom, a bunch of lettuce and vegetables, and some ground chicken on the top with some ketchup and mustard and pickles, and boom, burger bowl. You got all the pieces there. You do egg roll in a bowl a lot. Like that one's so good. But having that protein source on standby gives you some flexibility. Don't just eat it bland all by itself and tell me that you don't like it. Like that is not going to be sustainable. If you're eating cold ground chicken out of your fridge and you tell me you don't like it, I'm going to call you on it.
I always on Saturday or Sunday, whatever we're going to make for that dinner, like pork or chicken thighs or whatever, I always I have to use a whole Costco amount for my family, but I make like triple or quadruple the amount. So then I have that extra source of protein, kind of like you, Leah, so I know I have something in there for sure. Like I'll have either pork for the week or I'll have chicken thighs for the week. Sometimes I have both, but always have something extra just in case.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Hi everyone, Nicole.
Hey.
I'm a variety person. I can't eat the same thing over and over again. Like that would drive me bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've started doing as part of my meal prep is I usually make some form of a fish, a chicken dish, and a red meat dish every Sunday. So that way I have the variety throughout the week. And usually my red meat dish, whether it's pork or beef, I put in my crock pot and season it up really well with like oregano, bay leaf, thyme. And then once it's done, I take it out and I put it in the oven at like 500 so it crisps up and I get the texture that I'm looking for as well. So that helps me kind of throughout the week when I start getting different cravings for texture and different proteins. I'm not eating the same thing over and over again. So I find making less of more varieties helps me keep it exciting throughout the week.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. I think it's nice that you prep like different kinds of protein. You have your red meat and you have your fish. And then what was the third one that you say you do?
I do a red meat. So either I do like a pork or a beef.
Pork. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like that. At the end of the day, it's really easy to get hung up on the details. Like, oh, is this the right protein source? Or, what about this and this? But at the end of the day, if you are making it at home and you are deliberately including protein in your meals and snacks, you're on the right track. I promise you're on the right track. That is what you need to do. And so don't get hung up on the details, but you do want to figure out how you enjoy eating it. We're not doing something just to stuff it down our throat. And if it doesn't taste good. And so figuring out, like, if you are somebody like Nicole who wants variety, well, then make sure that you prep more than one protein source and mix it up each week. We have a handful of people in Fitme, both coaches and members, who are very skilled in the kitchen and have like really great ideas how to make things taste amazing. And I'm going to confess, I'm not one of them. But my gift is your blessing, because the fact that I've never been particularly good in the kitchen has allowed me to, learn and take the opportunity to figure out how to make foods taste good for me and my family. And it can be the same thing for you. If you don't feel like you're particularly like good at making things taste good, now's the perfect time. How do you make healthy food taste good for you? This is part of what we're doing. Is there anybody on this call tonight who's like, I'm 100% sure, I'm pretty sure I do not get enough protein in my day? Is that Judy? Are you raising your hand? Yep. Hold on, Judy, you're muted. Let's unmute you. Let me see if I can do it. Wait, where'd you go? I lost Judy. I think she disappeared. Natika, you go, and then we'll circle back to Judy.
I'm pretty certain I don't, but I don't know that it's because it's a lack of having it available. I'm just so focused on making sure I get my veggie. Because the vegetable was the thing that wasn't natural to me, like to have it with every meal. And then growing up, I actually didn't know that sweet potato wasn't the vegetable on my plate. I thought I got a sweet potato or I got some potatoes. There's my veggie. And I always had a meat. So I probably am not, because it doesn't dawn on me to even think about it. I know I have a meat, but do I have a veggie? So my focus is always make sure you get a veggie, make sure it's a real veggie. Does it count as a veggie?
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't know whether I'm getting enough protein or not. I have a piece of protein on every plate.
Mm-hmm. A piece of protein on every plate is a good place to start. Do you include protein in your snacks?
No.
That's what I would add in then. One way to think about it is, most of like snack food is usually carbs or fat, to be honest. Like like if you went to the snack aisle, there's usually not a lot of protein there. And so one of the things that can be really helpful for you is to think about snacks like mini Fitme plates. So they would include, a protein source and some veggies. And, if you have carb, then it's a quality carb and a healthy source of fat. And so that's what I would do, Natika, is if it sounds like your meals are already on the right track, you're including in every meal and focusing on veggies. And so I would look at your snacks and see if you can't improve them. The nice thing about improving your snacks is it reduces cravings because you're more full. It also stabilizes your blood sugar. So if you eat a balanced snack, then you don't have a spike and then a crash in your blood sugar. You stay nice and stable because your snack has proteins, fat, and carbs in it. And so if you include veggies, then you're going to be more full because of the volume of the food. So like, that's why I always say like bars aren't bad. There's no bad. It's just when I eat a bar, I just threw it down the abyss of my stomach. I feel like I ate nothing. I would be much better off eating like a lettuce wrap that's packed with some chicken and some bell peppers and a little bit of hummus in there. And I could eat so much more and I would feel full and all that good stuff and satiated. And again, bars are fine. I use them for sure on travel. Absolutely. Or in a pinch if I'm out. But at home, if we can focus on creating mini Fitme plates for our snack. It's really helpful. Judy, you're back. Did you figure out how to unmute? I think it's still muted. If you tap on your screen, there's probably like a little microphone that you can unmute. If not, you could even type it in the chat. Dang it, technology. That's all right.
Okay.
Oh, there
hear
you
me?
go. Yeah, you did it.
All
Good
I
job.
was going to say is that I think I don't get enough protein after listening to all of you tonight. I always have some form of meat,
Mhm,
like for dinner,
mhm.
but and maybe like a little bit of chicken in a salad for lunch. But for breakfast, I don't have eggs every day. I have a lot of oatmeal, and I know that's carbs. I throw nuts in there and fruit and almond milk, but you know, that's not really protein.
Right.
I
That's
don't know. I'll throw like chicken and a hard-boiled egg and cooked beets chopped and tomatoes. I mean, my salads are gut busters.
amazing.
I need sides on my plate because it's literally flowing over the edges. And I love it, and it fills me and it makes me happy. But you know, that's only one meal. That's lunch.
Mhm.
Dinner, it's usually meat, and I'm pretty good with veggies. And
So it sounds
yeah,
like breakfast. Breakfast is the place where you
probably
can,
where I'm falling down. Yeah.
because your breakfast sounds great in a lot of ways. It's just not complete. So eating
Right.
like oats is a really quality carb choice. Adding some nuts into it, that's fat. Those have some good nutrition in there. Fruit,
Uh-huh.
another good carb that has some really great nutritional benefits in there for you. And so to add a little bit of protein in there, whether it's like a hard boiled egg or maybe some like high protein yogurt on the side, or if you're somebody who likes cottage cheese, you could do cottage cheese. It doesn't have to be eggs. I know people are like, I don't even love eggs. You can get creative with the proteins in your breakfast, but by adding that in, now you're going to have, again, that more stable blood sugar. You're going to feel fuller longer. Your body is going to, you know, protect that lean muscle mass because you'll have protein in there.
All righty. Thank
So that's
you.
your homework.
Okay.
What about adding egg white protein to the oatmeal? Egg white protein powder to the oatmeal.
Good.
I could. I've never bought it, but I could. Yeah.
Just straight up egg white protein powder.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that
Yeah.
would, you know, and do enough scoops to make it a good serving of protein.
Okay.
Collagen proteins, also another one that you can hide in things, Judy. So you could buy collagen protein. It's again, it's not quite as good as eating like a whole protein source, but there's tons of benefits for supplementing with collagen, your skin, your nails, your hair, all of that. And it's usually dissolvable in something that's hot. So you could add it to tea or to coffee in your morning, and you could also hide it in your oats and it would add some protein in there.
Okay. Can you get that at the grocery store generally? Collagen protein powder?
A little, usually like mid-level grocery stores and up you can.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in here, collagen protein powder.
Another idea
I have,
for,
I think,
oh, sorry, Christy, you still talking?
no, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
For oatmeal, and this may sound a little crazy. I feel like I come up with some kooky ideas sometimes, but I'll pre-cook steel cut oats so they're cold in my fridge, and I will put it in a pan with egg whites and cook it like that. And it's no different than like an oatmeal cookie or anything else we cook with eggs. And so it's really good. And you can put the cinnamon, you can put everything in it, but the egg whites just kind of make it a little bit more fluffy, and you can't even really taste them. So that's just another trick that you probably have egg whites at home. that you could do easily.
Okay.
I
Right.
would make the oatmeal first and then do the eggs and mix it together in the pan. I don't know. I come up
Okay.
with cookies. I come up with kooky stuff.
Hey, no.
It
Anything.
does sound weird, but it also sounds good. I believe you, Leah. I believe you. You know
It's
what
really
you're
good.
talking about. Yeah.
It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I like that.
Mm-hmm. So your homework is breakfast to focus on
Okay.
adding some protein to your breakfast.
All right. I will.
Perfect, guys. Awesome. Well, we're right at 5:30. And so if anybody doesn't have any questions, then we're going to wrap up. Your homework this week is to talk to your coach about your daily protein choices, the protein that you prep to be squared away from for the week. And if you're not sure if you're getting enough, then ask your coach and talk to your coach about that so you can learn more about protein, where it comes from, what are quality choices. Again, it's not like a pass fail. The whole point of us doing this together is to learn more about food and to support our bodies and to eat quality choices that we feel good when we eat, but also help us with our goals. And so use this week as an opportunity to learn and try new things, even things like adding, Leah's idea, like cooking some cooked oats that are cold in some egg whites. I mean, and put cinnamon on it. I'm going to try it just because I'm so fascinated with whether or not that will taste good or not. So I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Brenda's right. Leah has some fantastic food tips and hacks. And if you haven't been watching Coach Leah's videos in the Facebook group, go look for them because she puts some good stuff in there about food prep and how to make food taste good and just simple hacks.
I just put a little weird one in today. Heads up.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, let me take a quick pic and then we will get out of here. All right. Turn your cameras on if you can. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. You guys have a fantastic week. I will see you all in the Marco Polo groups and on Wednesday at the live training, and I will talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.